Hey everyone, Rock DIY here, and I'm doing this product review because I've used plenty of these carpet cleaning machines, and over the years, it seems like the fancier they get, they don't last very long. So this time we bought one. It's a little bit bulkier than most of the fancy ones that have all the buttons and extra attachments, but this one is simple, rugged, and there aren't a bunch of gadgets. It's pretty simple, and it is a little more on the expensive side. And this one is a Bissell Big Green Deep Cleaning Machine, and it's model number 86T3. As far as the handle, this is about as much as it is able to be stored as far as compactness. This handle right here locks in place once you lift it up and put it down. You do that, and one of the things it does tell you is when you're moving the machine, lifting it up, don't grab it by any portion of this handle here. You're actually supposed to carry it from right here. There's a slot for your hand to go, not on the green handle but under here, and then there's a slot in the front where you can put your hand as well, which is right here. There is an on-off switch right here, and then in order to operate the spray nozzles underneath the red trigger right here on the handle is what you're going to use. There is an indicator right here. It's black and white. As long as it is spinning, it means that you do have flow. There is a connector right here for your stair tool. You do get the machine, and currently, as of August 2023, if you buy this machine, it comes with some cleaners, and it also comes with the stair tool. As far as how this works, there's actually 3 parts to the tank. There's 1, 2, and 3, and if you pull this handle forward and lift up, this part is 2 pieces. If you push the handle all the way forward, it separates the top part and the bottom part, and these 2 pieces are for your dirty water. This piece right here is for your cleaning solution and your hot water that you use to clean. It does tell you which side is the front, and it also shows you where to fill to. You definitely want to make sure that when you put the tanks on that they're fully seated, because in some cases down here between the clean water and dirty water tanks, you'll see that they may not be flush. If they aren't flush, push down on it and then lock the handle back so that it stays in place. On the bottom you can see it's got some pretty big wheels and large brush that is removable, and you can clean it. Just be aware that when you do purchase this, there's going to be a piece of cardboard in here that you need to remove. As far as moving the handle when you're actually using it, it's this right here, and it goes down all the way to the floor and locks back in place. It is very easy for this to get out of place. It doesn't lock in very well. You would think there'd be some kind of notch in here, but if you see right here is where the dirty water comes up and goes into your dirty water tank, and if it's not seated properly, you're gonna end up with water everywhere. Make sure you push down hard on it and then lock the handle back. Just be aware that if you hit something, it may throw it out of alignment, and then you'll have an issue with your dirty water coming up, and you'll see when you're using the machine, dirty water will come up and you can see it coming through this clear portion right here. If you're going to use the hose attachment, you would have to lift this up, attach it here, and then lock it down. And then on that hose is also the attachment for Connect Small Solution hose here. I want to say that the power cord is 18 feet and the hose is 9 feet. We did read the reviews about this carpet cleaner, and one of many reasons why we decided to get it is because of the tank capacity. Because if you read about the other ones, The other one's common complaint is having to fill and empty the tanks very often. So I'm gonna see how this goes, but the tanks are very big on this one. Something I don't like, which is pretty common with a lot of these vacuums and carpet cleaners, is there's nowhere to store the cord. There is a little hook right here, but this is what you would end up having to do. It'd be nice if it had like a full length double hook so that you can put the entire cord on it, but it seems like by the time you get all the cord on, it's going to want to come off. Also pretty common with a lot of vacuum cleaners and carpet cleaners is there's nowhere for the hose to stay with the vacuum. The nice thing about this tank is the water line is way up here. A lot of times when you buy carpet cleaners, your water line is typically half of the tank. This one's pretty nice because it's almost all at the top, so you really get to put quite a bit of water, less trips. At the time of purchase, the bundle that came with it included 3 of these 8-ounce bottles of Max Clean and Protect. When you get it, there will be 3 of these bottles inside the dirty tank that you need to take out. And the instructions basically say shake it up and then follow the machine instructions. And on this particular machine, it tells you to fill the cap on the clean water tank. So if you pull the cap off, the cap doubles as a cap and measurement for your solution. Just finished vacuuming this carpet, and just to give a little background, our house is 32 years old. Not sure how old the carpet is, but this is carpet that is in our loft, and since we've lived here, when we moved in, we knew the carpet wasn't in the best of shape. And specifically with this carpet, you do have to go over it quite a few times in order to think that you got everything up, but a lot of times I can vacuum the entire carpet, empty out the vacuum, and then come back and do it again, and I'll have just as much junk in the vacuum as the first time. And I really think it's because the carpet wasn't taken care of, and I think there is some deeply embedded dirt, and I don't know that it was ever cleaned. I don't think a carpet cleaner was ever used on this carpet. So not 100% sure how this is going to turn out. For all I know, I could be making a bunch of mud underneath the carpet, but hopefully not. I would like to get it clean. One of the things you'll notice right away, if you're pushing the cleaner while it's running, if you walk right behind it, if you have bare feet, the carpet will be really warm from the brush. It's just something I noticed right away. So I'm going to turn this on, and then what I'm going to do is pull the trigger forward, and then I'm going to continue to pull the trigger back, and then I'll let go of the trigger and then go forward and back one more time. So a total of 4 passes on the area that I'm going to do. So this area that I just did is not an area that gets very dirty. You should have been able to see some of the dirt that was coming up, and you can see pet hair coming up as well, even though I vacuumed this really good. It's gonna come up. I just finished this area right here, And unfortunately, I thought I had my camera on, and I didn't. But, and I'll show it again. But like I said before I started, I vacuumed this area really good. And one of the things you're going to see right away is, especially if you have pets, and that's another reason why this vacuum was bought, is because of the pet hair. One of the things that you're going to see when you do your passes is that there's going to be clumps of pet hair, and you'll have to keep going over them in order to get them up. In some cases you don't know if it's going to pick it up or not. It almost seems like it's just passing over it. But something else to be aware of is this carpet cleaner produces a lot of heat, so be prepared that while using it, it's going to get pretty hot, and you can definitely feel it. So right there is what I'm referring to. So I did spray and then spray forward and then release the trigger and pull back, and when I got to here, all this was sitting here, so I have to go over that multiple times. Alright, so you can see on some of the passes there's a lot of pet hair. The pet hair seems to be produced when you do one pull spraying back, and then as you go forward spraying again is when there's a trail of hair left behind. One of the other things you'll notice is that if you're suctioning up the cleaner in the carpet, it's not doing a lot of pickup when you go forward, but when you go back, you'll notice in the little window that it's pulling a whole lot more up when you're pulling back versus when you're going forward. You can look underneath the carpet cleaner and get an idea of where the spray is coming from, but it would be nice if there was some kind of indicator on the side, and I could probably just mark it with a marker to get an idea of where it starts and stops spraying, because I mean, I know whether I'm spraying or not because I'm pulling the trigger. I just don't know, like, does it spray right away and where exactly it's spraying from, just so I have an idea of where the spray is starting and stopping on the carpet. And something else, because this is so bulky, you really don't get an idea of what's going on with where the spray is going, where the water's going, where the solution's going. You just know that it's coming out of the bottom. So if you don't know whether, like, you're flooding an area, but as long as you keep moving and you can see that the clean solution is coming up, then you're okay. But you just don't really see where it's going, and it's kind of, you're just hoping that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Something I noticed, because I can't see the spray going on the carpet, is I've caught myself continually pulling the trigger for the solution to be sprayed when I don't mean to. You almost kind of forget, because you do one pass spraying, second pass spraying, and then you do two passes or multiple passes until the window is clean. But you may continue to spray and not even realize that that's what you're doing. Just to get an idea of what the dirty water looks like. See all the pet hair. Kind of hard to see how dirty it is because of the solution, but yeah, that's how dirty the carpet is. Be aware that when you remove the dirty tank, that you want to keep it straight up and down when you remove it. So when you release it, put the handle here, and then this part right here is going to want to grip on, which is going to make the tank kind of not be flat. So when you lift it straight up and down, because what you're going to find is if the dirty tank is pretty full and this has got a bunch of junk in it, you're going to be dripping dirty water everywhere. So have a towel ready, and you may want to remove this where you're not over your carpet that you're cleaning, because I just emptied this, and I also cleaned both the top and the bottom portion of the dirty tank, but I did it over the carpet and I had dirty water just dripping everywhere. So I've got to redo a portion of this carpet and then the carpet going to the bathroom. So just keep that in mind when you lift this. Keep it straight up and down. Don't let it slosh around, and have a towel handy. Something to know when you're getting close to having to empty your dirty tank and fill your clean tank with cleaning solution is, whatever you do, make sure that you're not tipping or running your carpet cleaner into anything that would cause it to splash around. Because what you may notice, and you may only notice this if you have a lighter carpet like myself. My carpet's pretty light, and there's got to be a contrasting difference between the dirt that you're picking up and your carpet. Because what I noticed is when I was getting ready to empty the tank and fill the solution, is I had brown spots around on my carpet. Didn't know for sure what it was, but come to find out, it's drippage coming off of the tank. So again, the best thing to do is, if you got an area like a hard floor or whatever, change out your tank and do what you need to do on it. Hard surface where it's easy to clean up, because mine left spots in random spots. And then also, when you do take the tank off, make sure you hold the handle straight up and down and don't let it slosh around. Because one of the things that you will see, I think I've shown this already, is, so you take the top portion of the dirty tank off. And you can see it's not as bad as it has been, but you can see right here there's a lot of water and dirt on this edge, and also around here where the suction is causing the dirt and hair and everything to come up, go into. It's later in the day, so you may not necessarily be able to see it, but I did take some pictures, and you can see where there was a line where I had cleaned all that side, but not this side. I just finished doing this side, and I think I can kind of see a line there, but I think this area, well, this area right here is the dirtiest, and I actually did go over it twice. I'm probably going to go over it a third time, because at least do see that it's dirty here still. So I'm going to do that one more time. Other than that, it came out pretty good. This is what it looks like after one room clean. I highly recommend any and every time you use the carpet cleaner that you make it a point to clean the entire thing. This is not something you want to leave to dry. You can push this tab right here, which releases the roller. And then if you want to remove the roller, you got 3 Phillips or cross tip screws that you need to remove. This is everything that was on the bottom of the carpet cleaner. If you have a lot of pet hair in your carpet, these rubberized wheels are going to pick up a lot of the wet pet hair, and then you'll vacuum around picking up clumps of pet hair that the vacuum is going to produce, but the wet stuff is going to stick to these wheels, and then as it dries a little bit, it'll come off and lead you to think that it's still coming off the bottom when it's actually stuck to these wheels, and then comes off when it's dry. Something to keep in mind is this little flow indicator is only going to turn when you're pulling the trigger to release the carpet cleaner. So if you're pulling the trigger and this isn't moving, then you're out of fluid. So that's how you know you need to refill it. The other thing is if you're spraying and this wheel is turning, but you're not seeing anything being pulled up here, then your dirty tank is full. About the time you lose fluid is about the time you stop pulling anything up, and your dirty tank is going to be full.